Welcome back, third graders. Happy Friday. So today we're going to be working on our learning target, which is I can write two equations to represent arrays. So we're going to be looking at arrays and we're going to learn how we can write two equations to represent those today. So before we do that, let's do a quick warm-up. So here I have, we're dividing into equal groups, okay? So if I look here, I'm looking and I see one group and two groups. So if I was going to write an addition sentence, I could say 4, there are two groups of 4, so 4 plus 4 equals 8. Now I want to write a division sentence. So remember with my division sentence, I'm going to have to start with my total. My total is 8. That's all of my balls. I'm dividing them into how many groups? One group, two groups. Now, that's the number of groups. Now I want to have my size of my groups. So here I'm going to write, there's 4 in each group. So 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Okay? I want you to pause the video, and I would like for you to look at the stars, and I want you to write an addition sentence, and then a division sentence. So press pause on your video and write an addition sentence and a division sentence. All right, let's check your answers. So we said we have 4 groups here. So I have 4 3s. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. Now I want to take that and flip that into a division sentence. So I want to say 12 divided by, and I'm going to do how many groups here. So how many groups do I have? I have 4. And then I'm going to think about the size of my groups. So the size of my groups, there are 3 in each row. So if you got it, great. Okay, we're going to start with our problem, kind of our launch problem for today. So you're going to need your book of math. So go ahead and take out your bomb. And I want you to go to your next blank page. And we're going to solve this problem together. So I want you to, as I'm writing on the screen, I want you to be writing this in your notebook. So you may pause it if you need to, okay? So let's take a look at our problem, and we're going to circle the important numbers and underline the question. So Anna picks 24 flowers. She makes equal bundles of flowers and gives one bundle to each of her 7 friends. She keeps a bundle for herself too. How many flowers does Anna put in each bundle? So I'm going to stop right there for a second, and I'm going to underline my question. When I underline my question, this lets me know what I am looking for and what's the unknown in my word problem. I'm going to circle my number. 24 flowers is the total. Now let's talk about these bundles. It says she makes equal bundles of flowers and gives one bundle to each of her 7 friends. She keeps a bundle for herself too. So if she has 7 friends and she keeps a bundle for herself, how many bundles would that be? Good, I hope you were saying 8. So this would be 7 and plus 1 would make 8. Okay? So now we're going to draw this, and we're going to represent this, okay? So I'm going to draw a unit bar to represent all of the flowers, okay? And my whole, or all of my flowers are 24, okay? Then I'm going to make 8 bundles. I'm going to pause the video for a second, and you go ahead and draw neatly in your notebook. Sorry, mine is not super neat, but I want you to draw neatly in your notebook your unit bar. So I've drawn my 8 bundles here, and I'm going to label this. Here's my 8 bundles. Go ahead and label this in your notebook. Good mathematician always labels everything that we know, and we know that we have 24 flowers. Now, my question mark is the unknown. So let's go back and let's look at what we underlined. So we underlined how many flowers does Anna put in each bundle. So here I'm going to write a question mark because I don't know how many flowers go here. Okay, and I'm going to write flow for now. Okay, so now is when I'm going to take my 24 and I'm going to divide it into my 8 groups. So I'm going to do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I go back and I start over. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So now my question is, how many flowers did she put in each bundle? What would my answer be? Yes, my answer is 3. So now I want to write a division sentence that represents this problem. So we want a division sentence. So I want you to pause the video and see if you can fill in the blanks that would match our problem. Okay, so let's check your answers. So we start with our whole, which is 24. That's all of our flowers. We divided them into how many groups? We knew 8. So 24 divided by 8, and my unknown is 3. Good. So if you made a mistake in your book of math, go ahead and erase it and fix it, and make sure your problem is correct. Okay, so I want us to take a look at this array right here. I have 4 times 2 and 2 times 4. I want you to think for a second, how are these arrays the same? Okay, so here I want you to say 4 and 2 and 2 and 4, those numbers are the same. That's good. What's another way that they're the same? Oh, okay. So the product, which is the total, they both have 8 squares. There's 4 and 4, so that's 8, and then 4 and 4, which makes 8. And what's different about them? Okay, what's different is that they're kind of flip-flopped. They're not the same shape. Okay, now let's look at 7 times 3 and 3 times 7. How are those the same? Okay, numbers are the same, 7 and 3. They have the same number of squares. They both have 21. So the product is the same, and they're different because they're shaped different ways. Okay? So what we've learned is that factors can switch or move but the total stays the same. So our factors can trade places or move around, and this is called the commutative property. Hear the word move. When I think of commutative, I think of moving. And that's what our factors are doing. Our factors are moving around, and so that makes them different. Okay, so what I want you to do in your book of math, I want you to draw an array that shows 2 times 8. So draw an array that shows 2 times 8. Okay, so in your book of math, you should have drawn an array that has 2 groups. So here's my groups, 2 groups of 8. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I literally want you to pick up your book of math, and I want you to flip your book around, and I want you to show 8 groups of 2. So if you're holding your book, you're going to turn it 1 turn. Okay, now it should look something like this. Okay, so now your array should look something like this. I literally have taken my array and I've flipped it with the commutative property. My array has moved. My factors have moved. Okay, so what I want you to do in your notebook is I want you to write, beside your example of the commutative property with your array, is I want you to write here, on your array, I want you to write 2 times 8 equals 8 times 2. And that's your example of the commutative property. Okay? So then the last thing I want you to write in your notebook is I want you to write commutative property and add this definition. So your factors can change places, but the total stays the same. Okay? All right, and that is all of today's math lesson, and I will see you next time.